Okay, today I want to talk to you about rates and ratios. Now, this is one of my favorite topics because it's super easy once you get the hang of it. Now, here we have a bunch of different scenarios that you will probably come across in this topic, where we have two different sets of ratios and we have to find out the value of one of the missing things. So, for example, maybe I'm mixing up cordial. The bottle says I need 2 cups of cordial to 7 cups of water. I have 21 cups of water, so how many cups of cordial do I need to add? Very common kind of question. So we're trying to find this missing value here, and we have the original ratio, and we've got to fill in our new ratio. So in order to do this one, with rates and ratios, I always stack them on top of each other. Some people draw them side by side and put little arrows and stuff, but personally, I stack them every time. That way, it's clear to me which ratios, which numbers go with which. So for example here, if the 2 represents how much cordial I need to use and the 7 represents the water, I'm going to put how many cups of water I have in real life underneath my original water in the ratio, if that sort of makes sense, if you know what I'm saying. So if this is the water, and this is the cordial, this is what it says on the bottle, this is how many cups of water I have in real life, how many cups of cordial do I need to add in real life if I'm mixing up a giant bucket of cordial. So who doesn't want to drink that much cordial? Okay, so now what I do is I have a look at these ones, the ones where I have a number for the top and the bottom. And I think to myself, how do I go from a 7 to a 21? Now, because my numbers are getting bigger, I'm going to be multiplying. So what do I multiply 7 by to get 21? Well, 7 times 3 gives you 21. So if this side has been multiplied by 3, this side is also going to be multiplied by 3. So if I've tripled my water, I also need to triple my cordial. Okay? So 2 times, I'm going to be multiplying this side by 3 as well, because what you do to one side, you do to the other. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. So if I was mixing up cordial and I had 21 cups of water, I'd need 6 cups of cordial. So now let's look at this one. Perhaps I'm mixing up some paint, and it says I need a ratio of 8 blue to 9 yellow. And in real life, I've got 24 litres of blue paint. How many litres of the yellow paint do I need? Again, I look at the numbers that I have, the top and the bottom. Okay, so I've got my blues. I've got information on the blue. So how do I go from the number 8 to 24? So because my numbers are getting bigger, I'm going to be multiplying. So 8 times something gives you 24, 8 times 3. So if this side has been multiplied by 3, this side is going to be multiplied by 3. So times that side by 3. So 9 times 3 gives me 27. So if this was a real life example and I for some reason had 24 litres of paint in blue, I'd need 27 litres of yellow. Okay, now here it gets a little bit more complicated. But no, it doesn't actually. It only looks more complicated. So here maybe I'm out of examples. I'm just going to have to stick with the paint. Okay, so I'm mixing up another colour and I need 1 litre of white and 3 litres of red and 5 litres of blue. I don't know, I'm mixing up purple, I guess. So red, blue and white. Okay, so yes, I have 3 different things, 3 different components of my ratio, but so long as I have information in the second half on at least one of these, I can solve it, okay? So how do you go from 3 to 12? I'm going to times by 4. Okay, so if that's been times by 4, this has to be times by 4, and this has to be times by 4. So 1 times 4 gives me 4, 5 times 4 gives me 20. Okay, so if I was mixing up this purple colour, I'd need 4 litres of white, I'd need 12 litres of red, and 20 litres of blue paint. I'm going to stop using examples because I am completely out of examples besides cordial and paint. But here we go, let's do another one. So this one is a bit more tricky because we've got some missing information here. technically I do have enough to solve it all, but it takes some hard thinking. So, to hell with it, paint. Okay, again, I'm mixing paint. I don't know. Maybe it's, my brain is telling me I need to paint my house or something. Okay, so I'm mixing up paint again. The ratio says 6 to 9. So 6 litres of, what colours haven't I used? I've done yellow, let's do green to white. Okay, I'm mixing up some light, really light colour paint. And then in the end, once they're all mixed, I have 45 in total. Okay, in real life, the paint's all been mixed together, and I'm looking down at my big bucket of paint. It's got 45 litres in there, and I want to figure out how much of that is green and how much of that was white. All right, so I kind of have to work backwards a little bit here, sort of. So if I've got 45 litres in my giant paint bucket, I've got to figure out how many parts my ratio called for in total. So the ratio on the tin says I need 6 to 9. All right, so how many parts is that in total? 6 plus 9 gives me 15. All right, so I'm going to add an extra column on here. This is my total column. So all up, I need 15 parts. I need 6 parts of green, 9 parts of white, 15 parts in total. Now in real life, when I actually mixed it, I ended up with 45. So how do you go? Now I've got information stacked on top of each other. Now I can solve it just like I did here. Once you've got information stacked on top of each other, you can solve it. So here, now that I've put that total column in, I can figure out how do you go from 15 to 45. Okay, so I'm getting bigger, so I'm multiplying. 15 times what gives me 45? 3. So if the total column has been multiplied by 3, that means this must be multiplied by 3, and this is also multiplied by 3. So 9 3s are 27, 6 3s are 18, add them together, I get 45. So if you're ever seeing a question where you don't actually have the information that you need stacked on top of each other, add on a total column, all right? Now let's do some more examples. These ones are slightly different though, because instead of the numbers getting bigger on the bottom, they're getting smaller. So instead of multiplying, we're going to have to do something else. All right, so here we've got 30 to 70, and I need to reduce it down to a ratio of 3 to something. All right, so I need to figure out how do I go from 30 to 3? I've divided by 10, because 30 divided by 10 gives me 3. So I'm going to do the same over here, divide by 10. 70 divided by 10 gives me 7. Same deal here. My numbers are getting smaller. I'm essentially reducing them down, simplifying them. How do I go from 36 to 6? 6 6s are 36, so it means I've divided by 6. Do the same over this side, divide by 6, and I get 7. Let's try this one. So here I've got 3 lots of information, but so long as I have at least one stacked on top of each other, like one whole set of information, I can solve it. So how do I go from 99 to 9? I've divided by 11. I do the same for the others. So divide by 11, that will give me 2. Divide by 11, that will give me 4. All right, last one. Here's another one. It's not complete. I don't have a set of information stacked on top of each other. So I need to fill in the blanks here to make a set of double stacked information. All right, so I've got a 20, a 35, nothing, blank space, and 11. Okay, so this third column over here must be my total column. All right, so in order to fill in the top here, I'm going to add these up because this is 20 plus 35 is going to tell me how many parts in total there are up the top. All right, so 20 plus 35 gives me 55. All right, coolsies. So now I've got information on the top row and the bottom row, so I can solve this. So 55 divided by something gives me 11, divided by 5. Do the same to all the others, divide by 5. How many 5s go into 35? That'd be 7. How many 5s go into 20? That'd be 4.